If you were here at 5 minutes till the hour, you perhaps were startled by the sound of a bell. That bell is the bell that hung in our bell tower out front until the year 1923, when the bell tower was, actually I think it was down in 1922, the bell tower was taken down because the sanctuary needed to be bigger. And the bell went to the Leiper Presbyterian Church. I think it was called Fairview Church at that time. And for the last 9 decades, it has, for the last 9 decades, the last 90 years, I'll get my math right, it has rung every morning before worship. Leiper Church closed, as some of you know, a few months ago. The bell has come back. So the very old bell is now ringing in a very new era in our worship life as well. It will be here until we move back to the sanctuary, and it will go with us into the narthex, and it will be rung every Sunday morning at 5 minutes before the service begins.
This bell belonged to Swarthmore Presbyterian Church in 1896, and it belonged here in the bell tower that is no longer part of the church. The bell tower was demolished in 1922, and that's how we lost track of the bell some 80 years ago. The first idea was to make a joyful noise to Swarthmore community. The call to worship was an external call. So although this is a small bell by external standards, it was meant to be one of 4 bells to make a public call to service.
Was it the only bell that was up in our tower?
Yes. We never got past the first bell, and it was a function of money, and of course none of us were around at the time in 1896, but my belief is that the congregation expanded so quickly after the initial sanctuary was built that the bell tower was in the way of the sanctuary expansion and needed to be torn down in order to make room for doubling the size of the sanctuary. The bell was gifted to Leiper Church in the fall of 1923. It was on a stand in the nave and rung every morning at the beginning of service to call everyone to worship.
Why don't you be brave and give it a ring?
All right, let's see what it sounds like. How about that?